Round 3 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Switzerland, presented by iXS here in Frauenfeld. Mathis Valin, like he did in the qualifying race on Saturday, coming away with the first official foxhole shot of the year. Carlos Raceless was second, Perez third. Langenfelder to the outside, number 1 in 4th place, as Maxim Gros and Sasha Coonan rounded out your top 6, then Everts. Camden McClellan was outside of the top 20 early on. Sasha Coonan, he went off track, lost 2 positions to Everts and Latta. Latta taking advantage with a move up the inside of the Belgian early on. Carlos Raceless then got caught and passed by Perez, and then just moments later, Langenfelder also found his way past the Latvian. Everts got up the inside of Valerio Latta. He moved into 5th and then threw it away in the next turn. Latta able to avoid to miss him, and then throwing a chain coming out of the turn. Mathis Valin, he had about a 5-second advantage at that point. Perez was your new leader. He caught at the elbow of a back marker as he went to lap him. He threw away the lead, and then Langenfelder took over at the front as Everts and Perez battled over 3rd. They muscled each other, and it was Everts who won that battle for 3rd. Perez would come home in 4th, but a 3rd race win of the season for Langenfelder from Sasha Coonan, Everts, Perez and Latta in race 1. The second MX2 race, and it was Guillaume Perez from about 6 or 7 gates over. It was a close tussle between him and Everts, but it was Perez with his first black plate in MX2, his first of the season as well. He went bar to bar with Everts over the first few jumps, through the first few turns, but he emerged unscathed at the head of the field. Carlos Raceless was 3rd, Latta was 4th. Camden McClellan, another bad start coming into view here, look, just inside the top 20. And then he crashed a lap later out of the race and down to 4th place in the standings. He did get up eventually under his own esteem and ride back to the paddock. Meanwhile, the fight here, Sasha Coonan was up and down like a yo-yo. He ran into the back of Simon Langenfelder, went from 5th to 8th. That was on lap 4. Eventually he came home in 7th. Langenfelder found his way past Carlos Raceless, who was then caught and passed by Valerio Latta and Mathis Valin just a few corners later. Latta moved into 4th, Valin 5th, Raceless ended up in 6th place. This was how close it was on the run to the checkered flag. Perez with the win, Everts 2nd, Langenfelder 3rd. Your Grand Prix winner was Simon Langenfelder from Guillaume Perez and Liam Everts. Langenfelder crossing the line to go 1-3, Perez 4-1, Everts 3-2. That's how it finished here in Switzerland.
Tough conditions, not an easy racetrack, really tricky, but that's what I like. That's what it's usually here. Yesterday was a bit hard, but yeah, made it happen today and got the red plate back.
In MXGP race 1, centre of the gate, Tom Vial, number 16, 18th pick to the line. He swept across everybody in treacherous conditions. Lucas Coonan was up the inside. Coonan may have bagged the black plate, but as they get the first jump, Vial leads the way, and they're bar to bar as they went down the next straight. Vial took over the lead. Hurling's got into 3rd position, just ahead of Renault, and then out of this next turn, you watch Lucas Coonan. He goes into the 2nd rut, and all of a sudden, his chain drops around about now, sends him over the bars and out of the race. Well, he got back in the race because he received outside assistance. He actually got back up to about 11th place, but in the end, he started making 1 or 2 other mistakes. Hurlings then suffered the same fate in the same corner whilst in second position, closing in on his teammate, fending off the challenge from Romain Febvre. In third, Febvre had one or two moments as he circulated to finish in fourth place. He fell there just in turn 4. And then Adamo towards the end, out of 6th or 7th position. Again, another issue with the bike. Look how slack the chain was there. Tom Vial just minded his own business. He came home to win by 10 seconds over at Renault and Fernandez, with Febvre de Wolf rounding out the top 5. The second MXGP race got underway, and it was Lucas Koenen, gate number 2, over on our left-hand side, that burst to the first corner over the Foxhole shot line for the second time today. He led Jeffrey Hurlings away. Alongside and behind them, Paul's Jonas 3rd, Romain Febvre 4th. Jonas would go out on the opening lap, though, with some kind of technical problem. Geiser, de Wolf were also in the mix. This was the problem for Jonas. He was looking down, back brake issue. Eventually would have to come to a stop. Tough break for the Latvian. Tom Vial got himself up to 10th. He was challenging Adamo. Then he went down to 11th. And then this was Adamo. He left the track and gained an advantage at some point here and lost 18 positions and docked out of 11th place. Geiser around the outside of Romain Febvre. That put him up into 3rd. De Wolf also found his way by, and he moved into 4th. And that was Febvre off the podium. Hurlings then had this moment. Bike got away from him. Geiser moved into 2nd. Hurlings picked himself up in 3rd. That corner wasn't kind for the Bullet this weekend. Lucas Koenen went on to win the race from Geiser, Hurlings, de Wolf and Febvre, with Vial in 6th. But it was Vial, your overall Grand Prix winner, with a 1-6 here this weekend. Maxime Renault, Tim Geiser, 2nd and 3rd overall. De Wolf and Febvre rounded out your top 5. That's how it finished here in Switzerland.
On va accueillir pour la plaque rouge de leader, il vient de la Belgique sur KTM, Lucas. Antonio Alia Portala.
Yeah, exactly. Really two different motos. First one was from the first lap to the end. Leading the moto felt really good, and the second start was not as good as the first one, and I really made my way back. I had a crash, and I came back to 6th, and that was enough for the overall. So I'm really happy with that, and we're gonna focus for the next one now, and we are back a little bit in the championships. It's a long series, but it's always nice to win the first ever 450 GP.